The Super Committee has stepped up negotiations on dueling deficit-cutting plans tonight. But with the Thanksgiving deadline looming, Democrats still apparently insisting on a very large trillion-dollar tax hike. So, can a deal be reached? Well, let's talk. We have House Rules Committee Chairman David Dreier, Republican from California. David, great to see you. You know, before I get into the tax piece, I just want to raise one thing. You tell me if this is true. The Democrats have been reported as wanting health care spending reductions, maybe cost of living reductions, maybe some entitlement reductions, maybe some small entitlement reductions, that they will actually go there, but it is the tax revenue piece that's holding it up. Is that right? Is that fair?
Where there is life, there is hope. You know, when we put this package together last August, the deal negotiated between John Boehner and Barack Obama, it ended up with bipartisan support. And there was recognition on the part of both sides, some Democrats may not like this, but recognition that the notion of sequestration is not a good way to go. As I say, there are a few Democrats who wouldn't mind seeing massive, massive defense cuts. But I will tell you, every Republican is determined to avoid sequestration, and people like Leon Panetta and lots of Democrats in the House and the Senate want to avoid it. And so there's recognition. And remember, I mean, Barack Obama said at the outset that he realized that we needed to bring about entitlement reform. So you bet there is hope. But I will tell you this. Let me shatter one very important myth. Republicans want to increase revenues. You know, many people claim that Republicans don't want to increase revenues. We know exactly how to do that.
How do you do that?
Well, it was pointed out.
This is more than semantics.
Larry,
this has to do with tax policy.
Well, Larry, it was pointed out. You know, Larry, Marty,
I don't know what the Democrats want, and I want to see if the Republicans can meet it somehow. Because if you're going to cut entitlements in this package, David, that would be a hell of a good achievement. It would.
It would. But, Larry, you know, the word is that the Joint Select Committee, the Democrats, have advocated a $1.3 trillion tax increase, and that'll be marginal tax rates, I suspect. We know that we can do something that Barack Obama and Bill Clinton have both said can be done, and that is bringing about marginal rate reductions on the corporate tax, for example, and closing loopholes. Marty Feldstein wrote his piece. If we simply modeled ourselves these policies after the 1986 Tax Reform Act, we could see by closing loopholes and reducing rates over a 10-year period of time, an increase of $500 billion in new revenues to the federal treasury. We have to have revenues to pay down the $14.5 trillion national debt. And the way to do this, as you know very well, is economic growth here in the United States and around the world.
So is there any meeting of the minds? Because, again, I want to say, if Democrats are willing to cut entitlements, then that is a very interesting development. Can this tax reform idea, last 25 seconds, David, can tax reform be merged into entitlement reform in this deficit commission?
It has to be. And I will tell you, thanks for what you're doing on this notion of this whole idea of class warfare and your talking points earlier. I will tell you, I mean, I saw a great rerun of the movie The Candidate.
I saw
The Candidate.
8 seconds.
Bill McKay was actually arguing against class warfare in that movie The Candidate. Watch it.
David Dreier, Congressman, thank you very much, head of the Rules Committee. We appreciate it, as always. That's it for this evening's show. Let's grow the economy at 5%. I'm Kudlow.